I gotta get rid of that. I don't know how to get rid of my stream elements. Good evening. I gotta turn that down. I gotta check this. Nope, I don't got that going, but I'll figure that out later. Anyway, what's up, everyone? If y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Or y'all watching an ad? Oh, okay. Just checking. Oh, I gotta. Give me a second. Okay. Uh, Gonna wait a few minutes for more people to come in. Oh, and that froze. Why did that freeze? That's weird. I told you. Merino wool. Hey, Nora Fairy. Merino wool is super, super soft and luscious and is not scratchy. The old misconceptions about all yarn being scratchy and itchy, it's not true. There are scratchy yarns, but not all of them. Most yarns aren't. I mean, most wool. Yep, very warm. And remember the other week when I was explaining fiber content, and there's reasons that people work with merino. Hey, Clemiko. Now I want feels like butter. It feels like butter acrylic, or is that wool? I've never used it. I'm gonna Google it real quick. No, it's Lion Brand. Oh, this is on Amazon, but it should still tell me. It's polyester. Yep, 100% polyester. Okay. Um, I haven't streamed in a while. Saturday. Sunday, I was having technical issues, and there's a possibility I was going to stream yesterday, but I have been so sleepy and achy the past couple days, so that didn't happen. So tonight, we're doing our regular. Oh, you have a Lion Cat. Oh yeah, you have a Lion catalog in front of you. We're doing a regular scheduled stream, which is the zigzag stitch. But once we get done that, we are going to switch over to temperature blanket. So let's do the zigzag stitch. The zigzag stitch is a puffy, dense fabric. And you know me, I'm always struggling with my lighting. Oh. Let me zoom in a little bit more. This is the zigzag stitch. See how it makes a zigzag pattern? Now it is puffy, so it has some thickness to it. So it's not a drapey fabric. It is dense. And it works best with at least 3 colors. That's just my little sample. And I gotta turn this fan on, I'm a little warm. I don't think it's a yarn eater. It may or may not be. Normally what I'm using for my worsted weight yarns, I'm using a 5.5 millimeter. This was done with a 5.5 millimeter hook. The instructions recommend a 3.5 millimeter. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to try a 3.5 millimeter, much smaller hook. We're going to see how it turns out. So, hey, old stitcher. So, is any gun in it? Yeah, I can't speak tonight. Is anybody going to be crocheting along with this? Just so I know to go slow. Oh, before we get into this, you can say if you're going to crochet along. I'm going to give some updates for the channel. And hopefully it will work. And I don't know if it's going to work at the moment because I just had it enabled and hopefully it will. But throughout the stream, in the chat, you will notice it's probably going to show up within a minute or two. You're probably going to notice a automatic message in the chat. There'll be 2 different ones, and I want to see if it's going to work. I set them at 10-minute intervals, so we're coming up on 10 minutes of going into the stream, so wait another minute or so. Those are going to notify everybody who's in the chat. There, it just showed up. Okay? That is an automatic message for anybody who is watching. It's the link to the YouTube channel. In addition to that, and I don't know when it's going to happen, and you all can still type. You can all still chat. This is just something that's going to happen automatically throughout the stream. There'll be another one for the link for the Discord. I have officially made the Discord, and I've got 2 people in there already. 2 of my friends have already been in there. I just want to talk about Discord real quick. You're not planning on crocheting along, so blankets are working on for some peeps. I want to focus on those because I'm on a timeline. Okay. And there's the Discord message. Okay. You don't have to join the Discord. what Discord is, it's basically a place for followers of mine for the Twitch community, and hopefully I want to eventually grow this. And it's a place for everybody to share, to discuss, to chit chat, and it's you can access it any time of day. It's always accessible, even when I'm asleep, even when people are at work. It's always accessible. Basically, when you go in there, if you sign up for a Discord, it's free to join. It's an app. It won't send you to the link. I might have to play around with it. Yeah, I might have to play around with it. Anyway. Basically, when you join, there's going to be a welcome page and rules explaining basically don't be a dick and all that type of stuff. There'll be an announcement thing. You guys won't have access. You won't be able to interact with it. You can read it, but you won't be able to interact. There's going to be a couple channels on there, and the channels are basically what you can interact with. You click on it, and you can type and interact. There's a general chat where you just chit chat, text chat. You can send links. You can send pictures. You can send, and built in with all of these, there are built-in GIFs. A lot of funny, hilarious GIFs throughout Discord. That's just general chat. Then there's a suggestion one. And again, this goes beyond anybody I know personally. So this is to grow the community. So there's a suggestion channel, and then suggestion is basically what would you like to see on the channel. There's a channel for whips and foes and etc. So basically, anybody, whatever you're working on, whatever project you're working on, what project is done, anything else. It doesn't have to be crochet. Anything crafty or whatever you're interested in, you can send pictures on there. And then there's an events channel, and the events, we're really not going to have a lot of events, but it's to let people know of things that are going to be going on. Like the one thing I put on there was coming up in May was the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. If I grow this channel more, and other people from around the country, around the world, if they want, anybody will be able to post an event on there saying, hey, this is going on in my neck of the woods. And if someone happens to be in that area, can join. And then lastly, there's a video channel, which I don't know if we would ever use it, but it's there. It's a video and voice channel. It's kind of like Zoom, where everybody can hang out. You can choose to put your video on or not, your camera on or not. You can choose to use your voice or not. And again, it's community based. So everybody has to have a link or whatever to get into it. And that link, and Crojo Mojo said that the link wasn't working. I'll have to go and figure it out. I'm not exactly certain what I need to do. But that's just a heads up for what the Discord is. Again, it's not mandatory. It's just something to grow the community. So, and I've already posted a bunch of things in there. And okay, so we are not doing a crochet along. Okay, I'm still going to go slow. It isn't posted as a hyperlink. Is it just text? She can copy and paste it. Well, it's right here. It says discord.gg and a bunch of letters and numbers. Give me a second. What I'm going to end up doing right now is I'm going to copy it here. Anybody who is live right now, well, obviously I'm talking to you because it's live. I'm going to paste it right there. That is the link to the Discord. And Okay. I'll have to do something else with the notification thing. I'll have to play around with it. I just set it up earlier today. Oh, we got a another user in the Discord. Thank you. Come on over one night. Okay. Yeah, it's a real simple thing. I have to go into where. Oh, nice. Okay. The only people that can see what she posted are people in the Discord. Again, this is not mandatory. It's looking good. Your time. She posted a picture of her beginning of her temperature blanket that she's had to redo. Okay, we're gonna start. I'm gonna quickly go through all of this, and then we will do my temperature blanket. So this stitch. Oh, I'm not used to this small of a hook. This is a multiple of 2. So your chains can be multiple of 2 plus an additional 2. So for this sample, we're going to do 26. 26 would be the 24 plus 2. And we're going to see, oh, I don't know if I like this. 2, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, 26. The other Discord you belong to the person had to send invites to those that she wanted in there. Well, that's basically what the automatic message is. It's the exact same thing. And I'm not certain why you couldn't click on that when the message was automatically in there. Basically, it does that so I don't have to constantly stop what I'm doing. It'll automatically, periodically, through the stream, send the link. I'll have to play around with it. Okay, we're going to try with this small hook, and I don't know how well this is going to work. Yeah, but again, I wanted to do it so I didn't have to do it each time. Do me a favor, anybody who's in here, can you scroll up to where it posted the automatic message for the YouTube channel? Are you able to click on that? Oh, Clay Miko's here. Okay, you can't click on that. And I don't know if it's a mobile thing. Anyway, we'll have to figure that out. Okay, it just showed up again. Can you, like, copy it and then paste it? You might have to do it that way. It's not that big of a deal. It's something we can work out later. So, back to this. We've got our chain. It's an even number of chain plus 2 additional ones. And what we're going to do is in the third chain from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet. And I might have to switch hooks. I really don't like that. Why did they recommend this size of hook? Okay. Yeah, I can't use this hook. I got to use the bigger hook. That's just too small for that yarn. Okay. I'm going to start over. I'm going to do my chain with my normal 5.5. There's our chain. Third one from the hook, do a single crochet into the chain, and then the remaining of them each get a single crochet. And I'm not going to be a stickler for anything, but just a heads up, if you're in the Discord, if you want to post anything that you have progress on, progress or finished items, I do have the Whips and Foes channel. Again, it's not that big of a deal. I'm keeping it simple. A lot of people have Discord servers that have tons of channels, and I can't keep track of all of them. I think just a few of them is what we will need for that. Okay. And also, remember, feel free to chat here in the chat. It helps my channel. Anybody else who's joining, welcome. I'm working on a stitch called the Zigzag stitch. Oops. When you get to the end of this stitch, end of this row, you're going to change colors. You change color of each row, it looks a lot better. You get this multicolored look. It looks like it's braided. Now I'm just going to change over to white. I'm going to clip my pink first. Join with the white. Chain one. You're always going to chain one at the beginning of the row, and every row will start with a single crochet. Every row. What do you mean? What did I do? I made a chain, even number, plus 2. That's our turning. So I made 26. And then what I did was, in the third chain from the hook, I did a single crochet. And then all the rest, all the other chains, I each made a single crochet. And when I got to the end, I changed colors. And when I changed colors, I chained one. And then that first stitch, I did a single crochet. So that pink is a chain, and then it's a row of singles. Okay. Now, this is the tricky part, and it's not that tricky. In the very next stitch, you're going to be doing a puff stitch. Now, the puff stitch, you're going to wrap your yarn, and you're going to insert it into the stitch, yarn over, bring it up. You got 3 on the hook. Now you're going to go back into that same stitch, yarn over, bring it up. Now we have 5. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yarn over, like we're doing a double. Go into the stitch, yarn over, bring it up. We have 3 on the hook. Just like you're doing a double. Going to yarn over again, go into the same stitch, yarn over, bring it up. Now we have 5 loops on the hook. And do that one more time. Yarn over, and then go into the same stitch, yarn over, bring it up. Now you have 7 loops on the hook. And this is where it's going to get a little tricky. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 7. Sometimes it can get all tough and difficult to do. If that's the case, undo it, which my case is, and that will happen. Zoom out. You want to be somewhat loose with it, and you want to bring it up. So you're going to yarn over, and in the very next stitch, go in, bring it up, bring up a loop, and then you got 3 on the loop. But don't be real tight to it. Have a little bit of play. So the loops are a little bit tall. Not real tall. I mean, not doing extended. But you don't want it real tight to your work. So again, all we did was we've wrapped, like we're going to do a double, go in, yarn over, bring it up through. So we have 3 on the hook, yarn over again through that same stitch, bring over a loop, and now we have 5 loops on the hook. And we're going to do that one more time. I'm going to yarn over and go into that same stitch, bring up a loop. We have 7 on the hook. Then we're going to yarn over and bring it through all 4. Not all 4. Bring it over through all 7. And then do a chain stitch. That is a puff stitch. I'll do that again. The pattern is basically the same. You're going to skip a stitch. Going to wrap our yarn, and in the second stitch, because we're skipping a stitch, we've wrapped. Second stitch, go in, bring up a loop, 3 on the hook. Again, make it a little loose. Wrap, go in, bring up a loop. Now we have 5 loops on the hook. Wrap it again, go in again, bring up a loop. Now we have 7 loops on the hook. Once you have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over and bring it through all 7 loops, and this could be a little bit of a pain. Once you get all through all 7, chain. That chain will lock that puff stitch in place. Again, we're going to skip a stitch, and in the next stitch, we're doing a puff stitch. So we're going to yarn over, like we do for a double, go in, bring up a loop. We have 3 on the hook, yarn over, go in again, bring up a loop. We have 5 on the hook. Yarn over, go in again, bring up a loop. Now we have 7 on the hook. Once you have 7 on the hook, yarn over and go through all 7 in one movement. And it will help if you take the hook and go up like this. And if the hook is the hook part of the crochet hook is parallel to your work. Exactly. Exactly. This is an easy stitch once you get the pattern. The third row is when we're going to establish the pattern, and then after that, the rest of it's easy. It's you repeat over and over again. But you don't want a yarn that's going to split a lot. After you've made the puff, you do a chain, and that chain will lock that puff in place. And you're going to do that every other stitch until we have 2 stitches at the end. I think it's till we have 2 stitches. Yeah, till we have 2 stitches at the end. So we're going to yarn over like we're doing a double, and in the second loop, go in, yarn over, bring up a loop. We have 3 on the hook, yarn over, go in, bring up a loop. Now we have 5. Yarn over, go in, bring it up. Now you have 7. And then yarn over through all 7. And that takes a little getting used to pulling it all through. And then chain to lock it in place. Again, second stitch, we're doing a puff. So you wrap, go in, bring up a loop, 3 on the hook, wrap, go in, 5 on the loops on the hook, wrap, go in, bring it up, bring up a loop. We have 7 on the hook, yarn over through all 7, and then chain. That's the pattern for this row. 2, and the 3rd time, and then bring it through all 7, and chain to lock it. Grammy, this is the stitch, one of the stitches you had sent me weeks ago that you were interested in. Hold on a second. What is this? Oh, that's something else. Okay. This preparing use for interlock with all those loops on the hook at the same time. I guess it is. I haven't gotten into interlock yet. Interlock will be for Saturday. Again, this makes a very thick fabric. It's like it feels padded. If you're using strong enough yarn, I could see this good for like a if you're using cotton yarn that's strong enough, and that was decent cotton yarn, I could kind of see this as a bath mat, as like a mat in your bathroom. Not to go in the shower, obviously. Yeah, you can use it as a border. Be a very heavy, thick border. It's a thick one. Okay. I've gotten down to where I have 2 stitches. Okay. Let me just double check something. I gotta double check how I did it. I gotta double check. How did I do that? Okay. We're going to make another puff stitch, but it's going to be in the very next stitch, according to this instructions, which kind of sounds a little, wait a minute, wait, hold up. I got to check something here. No. Okay. So you are going to skip that 1 stitch, and then this is kind of difficult to see. I've got a single crochet here, and I got a single crochet here. So I have the 2 singles. We're going to make another puff into here, but there's also a turning chain stitch here. That last turning chain stitch is the last thing we're going to go to on this row. So we have 2 single crochets. Worry about those first. We're going to skip the first one, and then the second one do another puff stitch. Okay, chain one, and then in that turning chain that's here on the edge, weird stitch to work into, you're going to do a single crochet. Every row of your puff stitches will start and end with a single crochet. I'm at the end, so I'm not going to finish it in white because I'm changing colors. I'm changing over to some blue because my next row will be blue. Move the pink out of the way. So I'm going to clip my tail of my white. Join with the blue. Just tightening up my ends. Chain one and flip. And then that single crochet we just made that's right here, we're doing a single. The rows start and end on a single. Okay. After that single, we're going to chain one. And then we're going to find this puff that we just made. To the left of it, there's a stitch there that we skipped in the pink row. So we just did the white row. We're going to go down to the row we did before, that pink row. In that stitch, we're doing a puff. One thing I want to show, I had 24 stitches, chains originally, plus 2 extra. The 2 extras were turning chains. So there's 24 was every other one. So we're going to have 12 puffs on this sample. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every row is going to have the same amount of puffs. So whatever you chain originally, minus those 2 extra chains. Those 2 extra chains on the foundation are for turning, but whatever you have, half of that number will be your puffs because you're skipping. You're doing every other one. So you're going to go after your first puff, and that puff there was not the best. The strands are kind of all icky. It's going to take practice. So the stitch that you skipped in the pink in the row before, when you were making the puffs, that pink one is what we're going into. And yes, we're going over top of this white. So you're going to go in, you're going to pretend that white part, that this part of the row is not there. So you're doing a puff, you're going to wrap, go into that next stitch after that white puff, and do your puff. So that's 3 on the hook, yarn over, go in, 5, yarn over, and then the last one will be 7, yarn over through all 7, and then chain. The way I look at it is I go to the next puff, and right after it, there's a stitch that I skipped on the row below. So not the white row, but the pink. And that's where we're going to do our puff. Go into that stitch. We'll be yarned over, go into the stitch. We have 3 on the hook. Yarn over, go in, pull it up. 5 on the hook, yarn over, go through again, bring it up. 7 on the hook, yarn over through all 7, and then chain. The exact same pattern over and over again. And you always chain to lock the puffs into place so they don't fall apart. That space that we made here on the previous row, that's going to give room for the puff that we're doing now to fit in there. It doesn't look like much when you first start. It just looks like they're next to each other. It's when you add the next rows onto it, you'll start to get that zigzag braided look. One of those stitches that takes a few rows to get established. Get much black. Yeah, that one didn't form as well. I couldn't pull through the loops as much, so I'm gonna redo it. Go. And that's all that this pattern is. It looks more complicated than it really is. Okay, that one doesn't turn out right either. It's getting these puffs formed the right way is the difficult part. Where you're going to end is you're going to do one right after that puff. It's really going to be in that stitch that you did your white single crochet into. But I am not there yet. I still have to do this one, and then you'll do another one there. I'll show you when we get there. Okay, now we're ready for it. I'm going to go back and count, make certain I have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need one more. And it's going to go right after this white puff. It's going to go right in there. Didn't work right. I was too tight. Wasn't enough room for the hook to clear through the loops. That's much better. Yarn over, not yarn over, chain after you're done, and you find that last single crochet of the row on the white, and you go in there and do a single. That will finish the edge. And I'm not going to finish it off because I'm changing colors. I'm going to do another row. I'm going to add my pink. Tighten up my tails as usual when you join. Chain one, and then flip, and then in that single crochet that we just made, go in and do a single, and then a chain. Now, we've got a blue puff, and then a white puff, and a blue puff. We're going to go between the blue, the first blue, and the white there, and you see that little hole that's down here? That's where we're going to put our puff. It's going to go in there. It's actually that chain that we did on the white. You're going to go around the chain. You don't have to go through the chain. Go around it like it was a granny square. You go around the chain, and that's where we're doing our puff stitch, and then chain after the puff. So now I'm going to find my next blue puff because the last row I did was blue. So we're going to move. I always move that puff out of the way so I can find that hole, which is here between the white and the pink. That's where the next puff will go. Same thing. I just did the row before was a blue row, so I'm going to move the blue puff out of the way so I can access the space for this one to go into. You're always putting, I got to redo that one because I didn't want to pull through. You're always putting a puff next to the left of the puffs of the previous row. If that makes any sense. That way, if you keep doing that, you will get the right amount of puffs per row, and you won't end up increasing and having a weird looking project. I hope this is making sense. See, I don't have enough play to move the yarn, the hook through the loops, so I gotta redo that. Okay. This blue puff is the last puff I did on the previous row, so that's where I'm going to do this next puff. It's to the left of it. After we've done the chain for the puff, we find the very last single crochet of the blue row, and we go in there and do a single crochet. I'm not going to finish the stitch because we're switching colors again. This time we're going to the white again. I'm keeping my colors in the same order. I guess you could change it up however you want, and I guess you could use more than 3 colors. It just looks better with more than 2 colors. Again, all I did was I joined, I did a chain for turning, I did a single crochet into that single crochet from below, and then I did a chain, and now we can do our next puffs, and it's to the left of the pink puffs. So now we're going under that chain from the blue row. We're going down 2 rows below. The pink, which we just did, we're going down to the blue. So go into the chain there for the blue row, and that is where we're putting it. Go to the left of the pink. We're always going to the left of the puffs from the row below. I guess everybody's busy stitching. Made this to the border on the blanket I'm working on for my mom. It's cranberry, green, and beige. Okay. But just be warned, this is a very thick padded fabric. I don't know how well it's showing up on how thick it is. There. You can kind of see that's the edge of the stitch. Let me do the pink side. That might be better. That's a chain. The pink edge here is a chain, but you can see how much thicker it is than the chain. So it does have some bulk to it. Yeah, those colors do sound good. Okay, come to the end. I did my chain, and now we're going to go into the single crochet, and I'm going to do one more row. I'm going to do the blue, basically make identical to my sample. That's good because the edges tend to curl because crochet tightly. She only wants single crochet, so we'll fancy up a bit. Okay. Well, test it out and see if it'll work. And again, you can always take it out if it is too big and bulky. So now, again, I did my chain. I joined, did my chain, a single crochet into the edge because they always have that. And then do a chain. Now we can do our puff. If you're going to do this for a border, you'd probably have to figure out how to do the corners. And I'm not really certain how to do the corners. You might have to play around with it. You'd probably end up increasing. Yeah. Tell you what, if when you get to that point and you test it on one edge, well, I don't know how well that's going to work because you'll have to do a couple different rows. You could do that, but I think that there might be a way that you can increase. You could put a couple puffs in the corner to turn the corner. I'll have to play around though. I might have to do some little samples of it. To see how it would work for a corner. Yeah, I'll have to make up a little swatch. And you said it's single. I'll make up a swatch for you sometime. I don't know if it'll be something I'll do on stream. I gotta redo this puff again. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Well, if she only wanted single crochet for the blanket, that's actually easy. You don't have to really think too much. That's just repetitive. Even though single, and this number does not make sense to me, but I've tested it out. Other crocheters have tested it out. Out of the basic handful stitches that all crochet is based on, meaning the single, the half double, the double, the triple, the slip, the chain, single crochet uses the most yarn. I don't understand. You would think double or triple would probably use the most. Yeah, because I've tested it. I've done the same amount of stitches with the same hook, the same yarn, and measured from the slip knot where I start and do the same amount, and then unravel it, and then I measure the lengths, and I don't pull the strands, I just lay them flat. Single uses the most. Yeah, half double is one of the ones that uses the least. I think half double and double are close in the amount that they use. It's, you would think it would be the other way around. That kind of makes sense because double crochets and triple are airier, they're looser, so there's more air going into it than there is yarn. So it kind of makes sense. Okay, I'm going to end it here because that's what I ended on my sample. Yeah, I don't know why they wanted to just use a smaller hook. That wasn't going to work. So that's the, I like half double crochet. That's the zigzag stitch, or I guess you could call it the puff zigzag stitch, because it is a very, like I said, a very puffy dense yarn. Not dense yarn, dense stitch. I guess you could make these puffs and just go two yarn over. So you yarn over, you pull up, there's 3 on the loop, on the hook. Yarn over, go in, pull it up, and there's 5 on it, and then pull through all 5. They'd be smaller. I guess that's one way to do it. But that's the stitch. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a little break and we're going to do the meme of the stream. Did you want me to use the meme that you sent me the other day? Or did you have another one? Okay, I gotta pull it up. Let's see here. Here we go. And the meme of the stream. You say tax return. I say yarn money. Same thing. uh, thank you. Thank you for the meme. And we're gonna switch over. Actually, we're gonna leave it there. I need to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Now we're popping over a good old temperature blanket, and I gotta pull up my. I can close out that because we're not doing those anymore. I gotta pull up my calendar from last week. Wait a minute. Hold up. Where did my. Oh, they're in the wrong little tray. I was like, where are my colors for my temperature blanket? Oh, excuse me. Alrighty, let's see where we left off. So we have to do the 26th through the 28th and the 1st through the 4th. Okay, we're switching to blue. Yeah, the lighting makes it look darker than it is. It's really not that dark. It makes it look red. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's closer to what it should look like. Okay, I need to get the blue because we're going to be switching. Thank you. I'm really liking how this is turning out. I'm not liking the green so much, but we've already gone over that before. Forgetting what stitch to do. I haven't done this. No, this is not the sad green. This is the melancholy green. This is the sad green. It sits on my desk all the time. It doesn't go with the other yarn. It sits on my desk. Well, it's right here. I don't gotta go searching for it. It's more of a it's a paperweight almost. It's a desk ornament. It's okay. True, I don't have any goose turd green. Been a while since I've done this stitch. I forgot how to do it. Now that it's March, hopefully I'll be getting out of these purples and blues. You'd love to get your hands in some or on some. Oh, in the Discord, did I post it in there? Those of you who are in the Discord, and if you're not in the Discord, I can send you the link. Especially, I'm basically talking to Grammy. If you scroll up in the general text chat, if you scroll up a little bit, there is a video. You don't have to watch it now. There's a YouTube video that I posted, and that actually came out yesterday. And I saw it, I'm like, okay, that is just like perfect timing. It's a YouTube channel called Half as Interesting. They do interesting, unique things and facts and different things about the world and whatever. and they put out a video explaining why it's impossible to build a crochet machine. How we as humans have learned how to make a machine that weaves, that mimics hand weaving, and a machine that will knit. But it's too difficult to make a machine that will crochet. If you go into if you're on the Discord in the general text chat channel, and then scroll up, it's the only video that's in there. And there should be a link. You should be able to click on the link, and it will take you to the YouTube, and would start playing. That's how Discord is good for integrating links like that. And just wait until you all learn how to use all the GIFs that are built into Discord. And the GIFs, I did not add any of the GIFs. Question for everyone. When making a throw, afghan, or blanket, what is your go-to size? I've seen a few kits that are not baby blankets, but the size seems kind of small, 46 inches square. Any of the ones I've made, well, I have made some small ones that are probably about 46 inches square. But most of the stuff I've made have been closer to a twin size as the smallest. Width is your wingspan? No, Clay Miko, not hook size. 6 millimeter afghan. That's a really tiny afghan. She meant how wide do you make it? Well, you can always adjust the pattern for whatever size you need. I mean, if they're kits and they come with the yarn, I mean, hopefully you'll be able to buy extra yarn if you need it to make it bigger. And then even if you're not making it bigger and you're following the gauge, if you end up crocheting tight and you go through the yarn quicker, yeah, hopefully you'll be able to buy more skeins of the yarn. And that's usually how it is. Yeah, I usually do. The smallest is like a twin size, however, whatever that measures. After you chain and it's too short by width, you can either add to the chain after you've done the first row. Yep. Either that, add a border to make it bigger. Yeah. And Clay Miko says, in the blanket I'm making for her mom is a queen size blanket, but if I'm making one for the living room, they make it about 250 chains. Well, your 250 chains aren't going to be the same length as someone else's. But if you're using worsted weight yarn and you're using a 6 or a 5 millimeter hook, it's going to be roughly the same size. Size can be adjusted, but what would you use? I don't know what you use a 46 inch square for. Fun fact, today I learned that I've been holding my yarn completely wrong, which explains why my tension is terribly inconsistent, and I split yarn all the time. I have to relearn to crochet basically. Well, there's really not a right or a wrong way to hold your yarn and to hold your hook. You do it however that feels comfortable for you and will give you the most consistent yarn tension. Well, I mean, I hold it this way. The way my working hand, I'll show you real quick. From the ball of yarn, it's over my pinky, under my next two fingers, over my index finger. And that's how I hold, I tension my yarn coming in. And then imagine holding your work with the same index finger. Oh, like this? Yeah, I can't do that because I need my index finger out to give me some tension. I need a little bit of tension on the yarn coming from the ball. That's why I wrap it through. Some people will wrap it around their index finger a couple times like this. And yep, just doing this. And this here is just making certain it through my pinky, it feeds in so I don't get a lot of knots. So that's going to help feed it in. And then this, my index finger is out like at like an angle to help with give it some tension. You don't want it super tight, but just enough. And then yeah, you got to figure out what works for you. Like I said, some people wrap it around a couple times around their index finger. I can't do that. So I never grab the yarn with the hook. I move the yarn over the hook. Yeah, well, sometimes actually the way I do it, and I'm going to show you right here. There's tension on it. There's tension on the strand. And when I go in, I'm going to do a single crochet. With a single crochet, I bring up the hook to the yarn. But when I do my yarn over to pull through, then I will bring the yarn to the hook. So for me, it's a two-step process. The first step, go in, the hook will grab the yarn and bring it through. And then the yarn over part, I will take, basically is what I'm doing, is I'm bringing it over with the working yarn and then pull through. Oh, I can't talk and explain at the same time. I've never used one, and I think that would just irritate. Why am I yarning? I'm all confused. I was yarning over. I'm like, no, we're not doing doubles. I've never used one before, but I think it would just irritate me. Your blacklisted technique. That, and I don't understand, and I can't figure out how people crochet like this, like they're holding a pencil. Some people can do it. I gotta hold it like this. So there really is no right or wrong way, as long as you're getting the correct stitches and the correct tension, or some type of tension. But also, everybody's tension is different. Try doing and holding it to work with the middle finger and thumb and end up ripping the yarn in half and throwing the hook across the table. Yeah, been there, done that. It takes some practice, and especially if you haven't crocheted in a while and try and get back into it. Thank you for the bit. You'll get the hang of it eventually. Well, crochet is a good, well, once you figure out what works for you, that will help with your anger issues and your temper. Hopefully. Pick a pattern or a stitch that's not frustrating. Oh, that's not good. Video game controllers are a lot more expensive than a crochet hook. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are some crochet hooks that are probably more expensive than your video game controller. I don't buy those types of hooks. What about crazy lady on a video I saw crocheting one-handed, holding work and hook and yarn all in the dominant hand, and then the lady who walks her neighborhood. Yeah, I saw something on the Facebook group, a picture. She said her car was broke down or whatever, and she was walking to work while crocheting. I can't know. I'm calmer now, but there was a time where I took a game controller outside and then proceeded to reduce it to microplastic with a hammer. Oh, alrighty then. Yeah, I can't. I don't know how. I can't crochet and walk at the same time. I can barely do it sitting down. I need more rum. Yeah, no rum for me tonight. I'm drinking iced tea. You have moments losing your temper where I've gotten good at burying it. I gotta see what color I'm gonna do next. Back to purple. Yeah. It needs to I need to get out of these purples. Waiting for my first row of yellow. But that'll be a while. Anybody who's joining, I don't know if there's any new people, welcome. Feel free to chit chat, ask questions. I'm working on my temperature blanket for this year. That was my last stitch. And I'm changing over to purple again. Flip all that over. Nose is itching. Why is there so much resistance in the center of this cake? Zoom out more. Y'all are quiet. That's all right. Now you're all crocheting along with whatever you're, well, making along with whatever you all are working on. Not in there. That's what was messing me up. Hi, Letitia Beck. How are you? Welcome to my stream. I'm working on my 2023 temperature blanket. How did I learn to crochet? My sister taught me many years ago. Yes, welcome. Oh, good. Well, just keep practicing and keep practicing, and you'll pick things up pretty easily the more you do it. And if you want, you could check out my YouTube channel. All of my previous streams are uploaded there. And I don't know if that link is working. I don't know if it's a clickable link or not. I just got the bot to post things. I'm not. I don't. I think I might not have configured it right. But most of my channel is crochet, but I am open to other types of crafts. But the bulk of it is crochet. And I also have a Discord. I just started it. So if you would want to join, you can. No no pressure. There's not much on there yet because literally I just started it the other week and it went public today. Just a place for everybody to gather and share information and share what they're working on and that type of place. Or you could just sit here and just watch me. And well, no, we did circular loom knitting Saturday. So we do some knitting, and I do have some circular knitting machines, but not hand knitting in the traditional sense. I need more practice at knitting. That's that's the thing. I really need to figure out a setup to show my weaving, but I don't know how I'm going to set up the camera angle. We like to help each other though, so please feel free to ask questions. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. I learn too. Sorry if my lighting is like all washed out. Actually, no, that didn't help. The stitch I'm doing is the linen stitch or the moss stitch. Us here in this stream, we like to call it the zipper stitch because, where's my pointer? It looks like the teeth of a zipper. It goes by many different names, but it's real easy. It's a single crochet, then a chain, then a single crochet. It's one of the basic stitches. Oh yeah, there's no rush. It's crochet, you enjoy the journey. It's not necessarily the finished project. It's the act of making. Oh, welcome. You might be my first viewer from Mexico. I'm from the USA. But we're a friendly bunch here, the regulars that are in here tonight. Oh, thank you for the follow. And I don't know, I don't have the animation. I'll have to figure that out. Usually there would be an animation that said I got a follower, but thank you. I stream 4 nights a week. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Eastern U.S. time. My schedule is down below in the schedule section. I try to make my schedule out as far in advance as I can. Got a bunch of things coming up for this month. A lot of my channel is education, so it's teaching different stitches. So if there's any stitch that you might have seen anywhere, there's a lot of lessons that makes it real easy. Yes, I'm very patient. If I'm teaching a stitch and people want to crochet along with me, I go real slow. I walk them through it. If there's any stitch that anybody is interested in, I have a suggestion box here in the About section. Just pop a little note in there and say, hey, I'd like to see this or see that. If there's something that you've seen that you know the name of, then I can always look into it and then possibly show it here on stream. Because what I did earlier tonight is I showed how to do this, and this is called the zigzag stitch or the zigzag puff stitch. So, the lighting. So I showed how to do that. I went real slow to demonstrate how to do this stitch. Personally, a slow learner when it comes to crochet. Yep. There's nothing wrong with being a slow learner. And that brings me into Thursday. Thursday night, I'm doing the triangle mesh stitch. And then Saturday evening, we are going to attempt to do entrelac. Entrelac is a form of Tunisian crochet. We'll see how well that's going to go. Okay, what? Okay. Oh, it's that light. It's my main. That's what's giving me the glow. Turn this back on so you can kind of see what I'm doing. That helps a little bit. Okay. That was Monday the 27th. I gotta go back to blue. Excuse me. But what, like I said, what I'm doing here, it's going to be a year-long project. I won't finish this. The finish date was probably going to be whatever that first Sunday or whatever in 2024, because I have to. Well, usually, wait a minute, let me just double check this. Usually, what I make are either for myself. I've given things as gifts. I've sold some things here and there at times. Okay, why is that acting? Just looked weird. I made plenty of hats and scarves in my time. Made a bunch of blankets. What else have I done? I've never done any any articles of clothing besides hats and scarves. This blanket here is going to be for me. It's personal use. But I have done, like I said, have given things as gifts, and I have sold some things. Has anyone made items to donate to charities? Might be a good project in the future to use up stash. That would be a good project. I've never done that, but that would be really good. Yeah, that's a good way to use up your stash, especially your tiny little balls of yarn that you don't know what to do with. Make hats or scarves or whatever. My arms are getting tired. But keep on trucking. Keep on getting through. True, it does feel good to give back to the community. I didn't do the stitch the right way. Went through a phase where we made about 25 baby blankets. They all ended up being donated to a children's hospital in our area. Wow. You're almost done January 27th, and your blanket looks very Easter eggish. Hey, that could be a good thing. I gotta check to see what I'm nowhere near it, but I'm gonna check to see where my next color will be. Back to blue. Oh, I didn't check Saturday. I gotta check Saturday's temperature. That was 56 also. So another blue. I gotta mark this on my thing here. I want to save this file. Yeah, I didn't know that you have donated the blankets before in the past, Clemiko. Cool way to read. A lot of places will not take acrylic items for children. Yeah, you have to look into wherever you're donating it to and ask them, find out what type of fibers they will and won't take. Doing nursing homes accept crochet lap blankets. It was sad and lonely time of my life. Aw. Let me double check this. Okay, I don't gotta change colors for the next row. That's a good thing. Okay, I'm glad that you stopped on by. You have a good evening. Getting near the end of this row. Yes, this is going to be a little bit of a longer stream tonight. Plenty of beer. Got a little bit of a knot in my yarn. Okay, we're good. We're just twisted over on itself. Get to the end of this row. I need to take a sip of my drink. I'm going to have to also change the timing of those messages coming up. I don't want them constantly going at the same time. I got to stagger them. So I'll have to figure that out. Well, that part's easy. You posted something in Discord? Okay. You use Prime number? Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good idea. I mean, I can set it to however many minutes I want. Don't know why it won't. That's a good idea. Just don't know why they're not clickable links. Again, I'm new to the bots with the chat messages. And then I got to figure out the follower alert. It's not doing that little noise and animation anymore. Do you get an alert when someone posts in Discord? Yes, but I have my audio notifications turned off. It'll still pop up, but I don't. I turned off, and that's with all my Discords, all the other groups I belong in, servers I belong to, and any one-on-one message. You can one-on-one message on Discord also. Um, I turn all my notifications off because I'm tired of hearing boop 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 boop. Because I've got I don't know how many servers I belong to, and but I'm also not looking at it currently. But you do get notifications. And there is a way that you can go into your settings to turn that off if you don't want to hear the noise. Okay. This next row is also blue. That was my chain one. Right into here. Do a couple more stitches of this row. And then I'm gonna get myself a sip of my drink, and then I'm gonna check the Discord. Flip everything around. Okay. This is the baby blanket you're working on. Oh wow, that's pretty. Let me share this because I know Grammy is not in the Discord. And I think this will work. Yeah. That is the baby blanket that she is working on. I like those colors. And is that, what stitch is that? Ah, I moved me, not the blanket. Single crochet. Um, Hold on, let me check something. Cotton cake, and I didn't want to do anything fancy first time. Okay. I'm trying to find something. Oh, here we go. That. And you posted something as well. Where'd you post it at? Oh, you posted it in general. Yeah, but you posted it in the general channel. That's fine. Very nice. Let me this is Cinderella's or Crojo Mojo's. It is very Easter like, but I like it. Yeah, I posted a couple pictures of some of the foes I've had from the past. They're in the whips and foes, etc. channel over there. Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, that I was gonna ask that. Did you change your color palette from what you did originally? I know you got rid of the Mexicana yarn, but you choose completely different colors. I rid of Mexicana, added gray. Switched the order of some of the colors too. Okay. So far, it's looking good. Arms are getting tired. Oh, thank you for the following yarn to be crafting. Welcome. February 23rd. Get to add purple. 78 that day. Woohoo! Just joining. I'm doing my 2023 temperature blanket. And I am working on Wednesday the 1st. This past Wednesday, March 1st. I want to make certain I'm seeing this right. I always lose the stitch, especially if I'm using the same color in 2 rows, because it kind of just blends together. Actually, most of it I try to do by feel. Yeah, I've heard good things. Is it Premier brand? Yeah, I don't. I might be mistaken, but I don't think that's exclusive to Dollar Tree. They just happen to carry it. I think Premier is sold elsewhere too. I could be wrong. How many ounces per skein, and what weight is it? Is it a weight of 4? I've never used Premier brand before. Dollar Tree colors are limited, but for tent blankets, when you're on a color, it's perfect. They have 4: chenille, cotton, tweed, sport, and I think 2 others. Oh, cool. Off the top of your head, you know how many ounces per skein? If not, that's okay. Not just dollar store. I have some Premier yarn I got online. All acrylic and super soft. Yep, that's what I thought. There's so many different brands of mass-produced yarn. Purple, mint green, mustard, tweed, rose, a yellow, and probably others I can't think of right now. Skeins are on the small side and not consistent as far as bulkiness. Yeah, that's what I figured. But I mean, if it works for the project you're using, that's fine. Or they might be like a 4 or 5 ounce. Well, you have to factor in the the uh the weight and the yardage. Like how your temperature blanket is cold, I can like how your temperature blanket is cold, it can relate. It's not cold, I mean, it's warm. My colors are cold because they're in the 40s and 50s, most of it. I do have that one row of white, which that was that day we had temperatures in the 30s. And welcome to the stream. Really wanting it to be in the 70s. I want to add some yellow to this really bad. Well, according to my weather tracker for Crownsville, for where I live, was showing It only got up to the upper 60s on that day. Which makes sense because of the area. But that's not, I don't live at the airport. Wasn't there a movie? I think it was called Terminal, where the guy was trapped in an airport. That was based off a true story. Oh God. Don't mention that. Grammy is gonna be all over that. Did you have your glasses on when you checked the weather tracker? Well, AccuWeather said that that day, I'll go back to it. I have it recorded. That day was 64. Warmer there because of all the fuel. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. Maybe the warmth being absorbed by all the concrete and pavement, that has something to do with it. That heat island effect. It's on the internet, then it must be true. Yep. If it's on the internet, it's true. But I'm going for my town. Most people live at the airport. Yep. Why do you wish you lived at the airport? Oh, 2.46 ounce. Oh, okay. Hmm. So that's 2.5 ounces at $1. And this Craft Smart was like $3.99. And I think that's about 7 ounces. Hmm. Well, if you live at the airport, does it mean you can afford to go on a plane? Okay, we need to go and change the blue out for the green because we had a day last week that was in the 60s. People watching. True. I'd rather watch the planes land than watch the people. A high of 15 where you are tomorrow? I'm sorry. Are you in an area that's getting a lot of this horrible winter weather? You should change professions to become a travel blogger, and they make money just by traveling. True. Oh, it's normal there? Yeah, I don't want. Oh, yeah, I don't want a high of 15. No offense. I didn't know if you were in some place where it was abnormally cold, like Southern California, where they got however many inches of snow. Yeah, I've never been to North Dakota or any of the Dakotas. I've been to Minnesota. 15's a heat wave up there in the north. Yeah, been to Minnesota and Wisconsin. Never in the winter. I've never done the winter there. Ah, I lost my stitch. This yarn kind of likes to split also. But it's an excuse to use up this yarn. Oh, Twin Cities. I've been to the Twin Cities area. Barely. Zumbrota? I've never heard of Zumbrota. Oh, wow. It's a small world. Find this. Oh, here's the stitch. No idea where that is. I know where Winona is. I don't know where Canyon Falls. I don't know where that is either. Iota? Iota? Always messing up with this yarn. Called it Iota. Well, if it's 15 in North Dakota, hopefully you're staying warm. The only part of the cities I've ever been to is the Mall of America. That was it. I just went just to say that I have been. Hey, Seagam. Welcome. Ah, naps are fun. I love naps. I did not take a nap today. Yeah, I just went to the Mall of America to say that I went to the Mall of America. Good night, Clay Miko. Chat with you later. Yeah, it's about the time that she would end up headed out because I've been streaming for almost 2.5 hours, and that's usually her limit. Kind of like Seagam and Clay Miko were on different shifts because they're mods. So C-Game came in to take over the shift after Clay Miko left. But just working on the blanket as usual. Well, apparently, you were nominated. After this, I got 2 more rows, and both are blue again. So how was the nap? Ah, oh, almost done this row. His shoulders are achy. And anybody who's joined recently, I do have a YouTube channel of all of my past streams, and I now have a Discord. Anybody wants to check them out? The hopefully the links work. You might have to copy it and paste it. I'm still having issues with I'm not still. I'm having issues with it being a clickable link when it comes up in the chat. Get the blue again. There was an event called Mazapa Days of Moon. Never heard of that. Lift the blanket. It's going to be so heavy, it's going to hit my keyboard and press all these buttons and probably end up ending the stream. Don't want that to happen. Projo Mojo. I was going to ask if you knew where that was. Heard of that town, traveled up and down 52 a lot when you live there. Beyonce's family in Rochester, another town near the cities. Can't remember the name now. Wow, I'm meeting people from all over the place. Earlier, there was somebody in here, and they're in Mexico, and you've got somebody in North Dakota. Make certain I'm going in the right stitch. I always lose track. I went there once when I was 2. I don't remember any of it. We went to Niagara Falls in the Toronto area. Don't remember a single bit of it. Okay, I've heard I've heard conflicting stories on that. I've heard that you need a passport, but then I've also heard that if you're going to drive there, all you need is your real ID. But I don't know which is true. I think you still need a passport. Just don't worry about it. Well, that would make sense if it's right there on the border, as long as you're not going further off the border. Kind of like there's that one town. Didn't tell you you and your family are flying to Cali for this trip this year for your trip. Oh, cool. There's that one town. Is it in New Hampshire, Vermont, where it literally sits on the border, and the international border runs right through the library. And if you're a U.S. citizen, you can only enter from the U.S. side. You can't go out the door on the Canadian side, right, and vice versa. I think there's also a road, a street, that the center of the street is the international border. And if you live on one side of the street, crossing it is technically illegal. Going to Universal this year. Haven't been to Universal but back in 2017 went to Disneyland. Oh, I have never been to California. Well, hopefully by the time you go, the snow will melt in California. Take you with you and see if you can get in Discord and share. Okay. Never been. Closest I've been to California is Oregon. I wasn't anywhere near the border with California. Never been to California either. Invited to see sister-in-law there, but don't think that will happen. Hogwarts Express. Gotcha. I'm not one for amusement park rides. Haven't been back since 2017. Let's see how things have changed up there. Yeah, you have fun with that. Yes. Do they even? I mean, I know you can buy postcards at like the souvenir shops, but do people actually send those off, or do they just keep them for souvenirs for themselves? Is that like still a thing? No, no tea and crumpets. That's a long-standing joke between me and Seagam. I got one more row to do after this. People do send postcards. Got one from a neighbor, like from a half a mile away. Wait, what? They sent you a postcard from a half a mile away? I had some lemon Oreos earlier. Yeah, you saw that picture I sent you, Seagam. Buy your own lemon Oreos. They send them to their neighbors. Remember one time when everybody sent postcards when they went on their summer vacations, usually returned from trip before the card arrived. Yeah, I could see that. Do people, and I know they don't do this, people probably don't even send letters as pen pals anymore. If they do, it's all now instant messaging and chit chat and whatever Snapchat and all that stuff. Lost them. Lost the stitch there. It's true. Yep, nobody can afford postage. Wonder if my older sister kept all the postcards she ever received. She had a pen pal in Japan when she was a teenager. Oh, wow. I lost the stitch again. Okay. Okay. Now I can flip that for the last time tonight. Need a drink. It's pretty. I figure out what I'm doing here. Ah, I keep messing up the stitch, having to redo it. You'd think I would learn how to crochet by now. Yes, Seagam, I'm doing it wrong. Nope. I was doing it wrong for a while there. Kept missing the stitch. But I think I'm back on track right as of now. Who's to say I might lose it again? I never had an international pen pal. I think for a short amount of time in elementary school one year, I don't even know where it was. It was somewhere else in the country. Us as a class would write individual letters to students in another class in another school in a different state. But I can't remember what state it was. Wouldn't even have an idea of where to even begin to guess. But it was only for like that one year. It was like an assignment thing. I hadn't crocheted in a couple days, so my shoulders are very achy. Sorry, I don't got really anything to chat about. I know it doesn't make for the best thrilling stream, but and Some of you are probably stitching the wrong. Good night, Crojo. Chat with you later. Yeah, when I get done this row, I will be ending the stream. It'll be a little while, though. Afterwards, I need to get something to eat. I didn't have any dinner. I'm a little hungry. Former neighbor. She used to live in Minnesota. A ball of blue yarn is getting low. I got plenty others. About a foot and a half left. Get a chain. Getting there, the end. Alrighty. Actually, we're not going to finish that last stitch because I don't know what the next row color will be. I can look it up, but that's for next week. I am using a 5.5 millimeter, and this is regular worsted weight size 4 yarn. I tend to crochet on the tighter side, so this is a US size I or 9 hook. That's just what I chose to use. So that is basically a little over, just slightly over 2 months. And I can't zoom out any further because the camera angle. But that's my temperature blanket so far. Let's move that out of the way. And we will switch over to that. Thank you, everybody, for coming into the stream tonight. Oh, thank you. I gotta fix those 2 chatbot notifications so they're clickable links. I'll have to look into that. But Thursday, I'll be on Thursday night at 8 Eastern. We're doing the triangle mesh stitch. And I don't have anything else planned for that day. I might have to come up with something else. Remember, as you can see here, I got the YouTube channel and the Discord. I think they're also linked in the About section. You might be able to click on those. Discord is just being started. Any of my former streams are... Oh! Thank you for the raid as I'm getting ready to leave. Wow. Okay, well, I'll hang out for a little bit longer. Thank you, Ethogenic Monk. Wow, thanks. Hi, how are you? I was just getting ready to end my stream, but I will stick around for a little while. I'm just working on my temperature blanket for this year. It's a year-long project. Started January 1st with this green row, and then up until this past Saturday. So that's what we've got so far. And it's about a queen size blanket. And I'm just doing... Oh, thank you. Yep. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook. And it's worsted weight yarn. And I don't have a color scheme. My color scheme is the colors. So using up my scraps. So if I've got a purple, I'm going to use a purple. So there's this berry color, which is my purple. But then there's also a purple over here, like a grape color. That's my purple. So when I run out of one purple, I'll use another purple. Very nice. I have a temperature blanket I've got going too, but I'm not nearly as caught up as you are. That's okay. We always can find the temperatures from the past, so it's not like you have to be right on it for that day. But like I said, my scales is here. Where's it at? It's here. So it's whatever I have. It's a scrap buster. I did have to purchase some purples and some yellows and oranges. I didn't have a lot of those. And it's the linen stitch, or the moss stitch, or as we here in the Crafty Cub stream, we call it the zipper stitch. Because if you look, especially in this area here, it kind of looks like the teeth of a zipper being zipped up. Yep, I have an Excel spreadsheet. It's a calendar. And at the end of every week, I use AccuWeather to find my temperatures. And I just plug them in there to keep track. And after I'm done the stream, I'll go and make a little check mark on all of the days. But like I was saying a little while ago, I've got my stitch isn't coming out. That's fine. I've got all of my previous streams on my YouTube channel. So they're there if anybody wants to go and look. And I do other stuff than just the temperature blanket. I teach stitches. Earlier tonight, I showed how to do, if it'll focus. Come on. There. The zipper, it's not the zipper. The zigzag stitch. My lighting is not the best. Let me see. Let me see if I can zoom in. That might help. This is the zigzag stitch. It's actually made up of puffs, so it makes a very dense stitch. It might be called the feather stitch. I'm not certain. Where I found it, they called it the zigzag stitch. So it's just puffs that interlock. So I did that earlier tonight. But again, it makes a very thick, yes, it is plush. It's a very dense fabric. I can see how this would be good for, like, I think Grammy was in here earlier, and she said that it would be a good border, but I'm just trying, I'd have to make a swatch and figure out how to turn the corner. I mean, you could increase. I'd have to figure that out. I'm going to end up doing a swatch because another one of my viewers, one of my mods, she was interested in it for a possible border on a blanket. She's got a very simple blanket she's going to be working on, and I think that would be a good border. And you can make it as wide as you, I mean, this is just rows. You can make it as wide as you want. I just do a sample. This is 6 rows, but it kind of looks like it's braided. But it's pretty simple to do. It's just a series of puffs. But and it looks good. This looks good. We've used at least 3 colors. And I think it looks best with 3 colors because you've got a puff here and a puff here, and it looks like they're continuing, but they're actually different. But it looks like they're woven. So, but I do all different types of demonstrations on different stitches. This Thursday we're doing the triangular mesh stitch, and I might have to find something else to put on the stream also. And Saturday I'm doing entrelock, which I'm very rusty on it. I got to brush up some of my skills before Saturday happens. Sundays are normally temperature blanket. I had technical issues this past Sunday, so I ended up doing the temperature blanket tonight also. But I've got the schedules listed below. You can check there to see what's going to be upcoming. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Usually 2 hours. Tonight we've just reached the 3-hour mark. I also have, like I said, a YouTube channel, and I have a Discord. The Discord is brand new. There's hardly anything in it. We've got a couple, let's see, 1, 2, 3, about 6 people so far in the Discord. Like I said, it's brand new. So if anybody wants to join there, it's basically to share ideas and share pictures of progress on our whips and our finished objects and suggestions and all that type of stuff. So, but again, I'm the Crafty Cub, and I'm actually, like before y'all rated me, I think I'm going to end for tonight. I'm tired and I'm hungry. Didn't have dinner yet. So, I think I'm going to leave you all on that note. Again, thanks everybody who came in, everybody who was chit-chatting with me and asking questions, and all the followers I got this evening. Like I said, I will see you all Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Everybody have a good evening and happy crafting.